honest conversations for.
And that's the thing, I do though. And so the people I want to invite, I want them to know it's a real honest space. Because right now, everybody's just sensitive. It's easy to offend people.
See, that's good.
And I'm at the point where I don't care, honestly, because it's my opinion, or either it's factual or it's not, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just want to have honest conversations and don't leave nothing out.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Say Loud podcast where we pause, reflect, and grow. I am Tay, your host. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time to converse with me. Welcome, current and new listeners. I hope January has been treating you well. I know for me personally, January has had its ups and downs. But my smile is still present and my attitude towards the year hasn't changed. Last episode, I mentioned how I believe this year will be such a good year, and I'm still claiming it, and hopefully, you all are doing the same. Now that I got my usual introduction out the way, today we have a guest to help us converse about everything that we are talking about. Her name is Natasha Bryant. She is not only my sister, but she is also an entrepreneur. She is an author. I was about to say an adult. She is an author of 3 books, a motivational speaker, a teacher within the DC school system, and most importantly, a mom to my favorite kid, my nephew Nasir. Um, Now, my good sis has done the work. Trust me, she has a bachelor's in English and a master's in education. So, welcome, Tosh.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to be here. I'm excited about the new year. I'm excited about Selah and just everything that's going on. I couldn't have asked for a better start to the year.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you as my first guest. And
Yay,
this is your
me.
first podcast, right?
Very first time.
See,
Very
so
first
we
time.
we breaking the barriers for each other.
Exactly.
So here on the podcast, we do icebreaker questions.
Okay.
So I'm going to explain it to our new listeners. I post the icebreaker question on the podcast page that is Selah_pod. Please go follow. And I give people a chance, probably about a week, to respond to the question, and I mention 2 responses and I give my own. But since we have my beautiful sister here with me today, I'm going to give 2 responses. We're going to hear her response, then mine. So let's get right into it. So, the icebreaker question for this episode was, if a movie was made about your life, what would the title be?
Mm, that's a good
So,
one.
right? Because your life is kind of like a movie.
For real.
If you, what is
For
it?
real.
Only if you knew.
Right.
Only if you knew. So the first response that I had was, this person said they would name their movie Perfectly Imperfect. What kind of movie does that sound like to you?
That movie definitely sounds like life. Perfectly imperfect means to me, um, I'm cool with the good and the bad. I'm good with the ups and the downs. I'ma keep doing me, whether it look good to you or not. And some people
Right.
just have that attitude in life. Like, I'm out here doing me. I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm fine with that. So
Right.
hey,
What you deem is wrong is right for me.
facts. So
The second response I got was The Girl Who Didn't Break. My God.
Right. Oh, that seemed like life hit for real.
Right. But she sounded like an overcomer,
Yeah, she
though.
sound like she took all of it. That
She
sound like
didn't
some
break.
you that sound like Creed. Like,
Okay.
that sound like a little
Okay.
warrior
So
moment
the
right
person who
there.
said that, you need to reach out to Sylvester Stallone.
Fact.
Okay, get your Philly story going. Okay, so what would be the name of your movie if it was about your life, Tosh?
Man, I was sitting here thinking about that. At first, I was thinking maybe I would do something like moving through the mud because
Okay, get it out the mud,
yeah, just stuff happening. You still gotta go.
and that's it.
You still have to move through that mud. So I'm kind of stuck. I like that one because I've moved through a lot of mud. Um,
All right, but
I didn't move through a lot of mud. But where I think I am now in life is more like getting to greater.
I like that.
Yeah, I think right now in my life, my movie would definitely be about getting to greater, the pursuit, the push behind it, the go forward. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with getting to greater.
I could attest to that. That's like your attitude lately. I really can attest to that because we got nowhere to go but up.
But
But up. So my title would be, I said my laugh heals all. Because
I
I
can see
laugh
that.
at everything. Everybody who knows me knows I laugh at everything. I could be sad. I'm gonna find a way to chuckle. I could be mad, ready to fight, ready to do everything. I'm going to laugh. Cause in the end, it's all a joke to me. In the end, it just be like, you know how you be arguing, you go through with people, and then later on you think about how dumb or how small things were, and you
Yes,
can laugh about it. So
yes,
that's why I said that. And then, during the good times, I enjoy laughing. Y'all need to cherish laughing because you just need to laugh. It heals. What they say, laughing is the best medicine, or
yes.
laughter.
It's medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the name of my movie. If you still want to respond to that question, still DM me. Let me know what the name of your movie would be. I'm intrigued because everybody's life is different.
Yes,
Everybody go through
definitely.
some very intriguing experiences. Other people just live day to day. It's your story to tell. Let's go right into the vibe of the week. Here we're going to talk about what have you been listening to, what's been on repeats, what you keep turning up in your car. So mine's, over here we love music. So lately I've been on my gospel tip. Like I
Yes,
haven't
yes,
really
ma'am.
listened to my trap stuff lately,
Okay.
but I have been listening to trap worship though. So
Oh,
it's
that's
a little
something
twist.
new.
That's very new, and
That's something
I
new.
love it. And one thing about me, I'm gonna run a song to the ground because I feel like I love it so much. Everybody around me should should love it, especially Jalen. Like, duh, Jalen got to get on the drums, and if he like it, then
If
Tasha, you gotta like it. I have to keep playing it around you. My man's gonna drown you out.
in the car, in the house, before bed. Yeah, he runs the song out.
Okay, so I've been listening to Trap Worship Volume 1 and 2 by Brandon P. I'm not sure what the P stands for, but that's his name. It is gospel, but it's not the traditional kind of gospel. Like I said, it gives that trap beat. Not everybody can listen to the choirs and the medleys and the Kirk Franklins. This is more of like the Ty Trippett side of things. So for my listeners that's not really like churchgoers or people who believe in Christ, give it a chance. It's different. It's real catchy. Like I say all the time, it's feel good kind of music. You got Brandon rapping sometimes on there, and the singers are singing. Of course, anything I listen to, the people, I feel like they just be singing, right? So,
Gotta be singing.
what have you been listening to? What have you been vibing to?
Well, I can get you said trap worship. So remove the trap, okay? Remove the trap and just give me some worship. Here lately, I've just been in a worship mode, not necessarily one particular artist, but just slowing things down, having a lot of conversation. It's the beginning of the year.
Yep.
So I want to make sure that my relationship is rock solid all over again.
All
So I
right.
just been just worshiping and crying and just getting to know God a little bit better, more than I knew Him last year. So yeah, I've just been in worship mode.
I love that for you. It's good to be rooted in something. Um, I don't discriminate. You know, there are people who believe in other things and other religions, other cultural practices. Not against it, but I do want you to give the music a try. And if you don't, whatever you believe in, make sure you find time to be rooted in that and to really just zone in on that to, help you project yourself for the year. So, with that being said, y'all, we got some talking to do. You ready, Tasha? You ready? You
Let's
ready?
talk.
Okay, so this month's focus is safekeeping your dreams. And last episode, we discussed dream killers. Have you ever experienced a dream killer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the worst kind of people to be around, right? So we talked about how people will try to induce fear when sharing your goals and dreams. We also talked about how we know when someone is safe enough place to share those dreams and goals. So if you haven't listened to the last episode, go give it a listen so you can catch up. And so you can start practicing to safe keep your dreams. So today I want to talk about support. Not the typical aspects of support, but what support looks like to me. And I'm gonna be honest and have an honest moment like I always do, you guys. I have received a good amount of support regarding the podcast. Y'all excuse the ice maker if y'all heard it. We love ice over here, okay? Like I was saying, I have received a good amount of support regarding the podcast. But honestly, there are some people that I have expected support from, and I haven't gotten any. From people that I have supported and pushed myself, or from people who swore they would. It was very unexpected, and I have moments where I'm in my feelings about it. Like I really be like, dang, I know you see me posting. I know you see me out here doing what I'm trying to do for this podcast, and you said nothing. You've done nothing. With that being said, Tosh, have you ever experienced this? How does it make you feel?
Um, yes, I definitely have experienced it. Um, how does it make me feel though? Part of me want to be petty, like,
I
you
was
know.
about to say nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah, part of
it's a
me,
little
a
bit.
lot of me wants to be petty regarding it, just since, since over here at Selah, we're honest.
Always
You don't show up for me. Don't worry about me showing up for you.
facts.
Um, you don't want to give to me. Not a problem, bruh, sis. Not a problem.
Right.
Just don't expect, to see my name on your Cash App.
Hmm.
Things like that. Um, but moving from that, that takes maturity.
It
And
does.
so
It
when you
does.
first get started, and things occur that you're like, oh, I just knew this one was going to show up, or I knew that one would give, I knew this would happen.
Hmm.
It almost comes to shut you down. And so you feel like,
Hmm.
well, dag, if this person didn't show up for me, maybe it's not good enough.
Hmm.
It that opens the door when people don't support you. It opens the door for more than just a lack of support.
Yeah.
It starts to affect self-esteem. It starts to come against maybe what you're thinking and dreaming and hoping for,
Yep.
what you thought it would be. Are you good enough? So it just affects so much, man. Your foundation really, really has to be locked in. You got to know that this is something you want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm
That
jumping
part.
ahead, but
No, no, keep talking. Keep
you
talking.
you really have to know that, listen, this is what I am supposed to be
Yeah.
doing. because if you don't, the slightest thing can definitely knock the wind out of you.
Yep.
And you didn't set your butt down. Next thing you know, a week then went by, a month then went by. You haven't started. A year has gone by, and you find yourself just keep on trying to start. You're trying to start. So definitely, it takes maturity not to be affected by lack of support, and that's in anything, So
Yeah.
let me apologize for whoever didn't come out and support my sis right now. Let me apologize on behalf of that person because you're doing the thing, and I'm so
Thank
proud of
you.
you.
I
On your own platform, I
appreciate
applaud
it.
you.
I appreciate it. And that means a lot because, like I said, I used to really be in my feelings about it. I had to really, like you said, just think about like my purpose. Remember my why, like I say all the time. Remember why I'm doing it. I never was doing it for them from jump. To be honest,
Right.
it's about the impact that I want to have, but it's just one of those things where you feel like, dang, if I can't impact the people closest to me, what am I going to offer a stranger on the street kind of thing? And it's not even just that. And I don't want to backtrack because you said something really good about being mature, excuse me, about it. But it don't even have to be you posting. It could be something simple as make a little donation. First of all, everybody know to start a business it costs.
Hmm.
And the thing that gets me is the very people you support, you push, you do it out of genuineness, right? And these people have all these connects, all these keys and things like that. But then when it comes to you, it's like, where's all that passion that you have to help everyone else? Why? What is it? And like you said, this opens the door for you to start questioning everything. Then it's what is it about me? It doesn't have to be something necessarily about you, but it's just like, what's so different? And I'm doing the same thing. It may be a different kind of business, but I'm still starting one. I still need help. I
I'm
still
still out
need
here.
support. But I'm glad you mentioned being mature because it does take maturity to just be like, you know what? I see you for who you are. I see you for what you've given me. And like you said, in the midst of that maturity, that pettiness, I'm trying to tell you that
Want to creep
pettiness
up?
creep up on you. And sometimes it be like when you type in a message and you just keep backspacing. Type it again. You backspace it again. Because part of me, I just be wanting to be like, you know what? I'm good for a good message. Like, hey, this is how I feel about this. I think it's real funny how, I see you doing X, Y, and Z for somebody else. I can even start with the A. But now I'm just at a point where, you know what? I can take people at face value. Just see them for who they are. But I think the biggest problem was, and I want you to chime in on this. I think the biggest problem was for me was that I have expected myself out of other people because I know how genuine I am. I don't do things for people to be like, oh, Tay did it. I don't want the praise for it at all. It's because I actually believe in what you're doing. I want to push you. I want to support you. And if I say I love you, I mean it. There's actions behind that. There's a way I go about things regarding you. So I want you to chime on that. Do you think part of feeling that way or the reason why it's a battle for some people and even for me is because you expect yourself out of other people?
So for you, because I know you do give so much. You go all out, and you do expect that in return. But I am the opposite. I expect people to be who they say they are.
Yeah.
So if I'm having a conversation with you, if you're my sister, if you love me so much,
Mm-hmm.
um, firm believer that love is an action word. So I expect you
Facts.
to show me that you love me. And
Yes.
showing that you love me is not necessarily being all that I am, because I can say that I cannot show up for you like you show up for me.
What is I
Yeah,
cannot.
I cannot honestly freely say, yeah, I'm going to show up for Tay like Tay has showed up for me.
Right.
I would be lying to both of us. But if I say that I love you, that I'm here for you,
Hmm.
then I'm going to be there for you in the way that I know how to be there for you. So if somebody tells me that, like, hey, and somebody just did it the other day, like, send me a cash app request. I don't know what's going to, what event or what you're doing, but
Hmm.
I want to show up. You know, I want to show you that I care in that way. And I said, oh, not a problem. Sent it, and they were good on their word. Now, in return, I probably couldn't do that for them to, to the
Right.
magnitude, but she showed up like she knows how to show up. And
Hmm.
sometimes we do put a lot of pressure on people
Right.
to show up in ways that they may not know how to show up for us. So
Yeah.
sometimes our expectation is extremely high, or sometimes it could be just mid, and they don't even know how to meet you at your mid because they're
Mm.
so used to maybe taking that
Yeah.
they can't give it to the point that we need it. And
Hmm.
again, I can only go back to building up self.
Yeah.
So you show up for self first, and anything else is a bonus. Anybody else is a bonus, because if
Like that
you
bonus.
want to do something and you prove to yourself that you can do it regardless if the room packed or empty, you still
Hmm.
did it.
Facts. Yeah, we know that, don't we? We know that from experience. Okay, let me tell you something. It could be our family there at the event. Guess what? We going keep going. The show must go on. But I'm glad
Got to.
you said what you said about having expectations of people, because it's a very cliche thing to say, and people say it all the time. And I feel like people are, I don't want to say disrespecting, but I feel like the word is losing its value. Communication. Communication is key. People say it all the time in regards to different things, but it's the truth. Can't nobody read your mind. Don't nobody know what you want. If you don't make it clear, this is what you want, this is what you expect from jump, then they have no reason to just know. They don't have no reason to just be like, I know exactly what you want. Oh, it's Monday. I know on Monday, Tosh like this, Tay like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have no reason to know that. Communication is key. It's just like being in a relationship or dating. You tell that other person, like, hey, this is what I go for, this is what I don't go for. When same thing goes with supporting. Be vocal about the kind of support that you need,
Right.
right? Because like Tasha saying, everything is self. Everything else is a bonus, though. And I really like that you said that. It is a bonus, but it's like, okay, I need support in the area of just push me, send me something encouraging one morning, or I need support from financially. Like, one thing I say, me and my family good for this. We will hit a group chat real fast. Hey, this is what I got going on. Okay, this is the day I need the money by. Can you help me? Any little bit helps. And when we say any little bit, we
You
mean
mean?
any we mean any little bit, okay? Let me tell you something. If you give me $1, I'm $1 closer to my goal, okay? Be vocal about the kind of support that you need, because that also helps build you up on your end. You can't just expect people to see the value in your product. You got to sell it. At the end of the day, you have to sell it. And I have learned that through other people and now through myself. I believe Selah is great. It's going to continue to be great, but I have to push my own vision. Even with you, Tosh, with all your endeavors, we have to push your vision. You have to like get in people's face like, hey,
Right. I'm
this is
here.
right. Hello, I am here. So I'm so glad you mentioned and talked about. But you know, you also said something good. Just to go back to what you said about how I expect not the most, but what I give other people, right? And you don't. And I really think sometimes that also goes back to how people may have grew up or just experiences.
Hmm.
And y'all, I want y'all to go get my sister book, All for My Good. You'll learn all about that. Shameless plug. Not to get too deep into it, but you have had a life where things have been taken, right? Consistently, whether it was all the time, sporadically, you know what it feels like to have something taken from you and no one give back, or just reciprocate that energy. So that could also be an outlook on why you just don't expect certain things from other people versus with me, you being a part of my village, I have had the pleasure of growing up where, and not to say I don't know what it feels like for things to be taken from me, because I do, but I have fortunate enough to have a support system outside of the people that I expected it from, to have people to reciprocate the energy like growing up. So I think that plays a big part in, if that is you, once again, be vocal about what it is you need. Don't get stuck in, this is the usual. Oh, people take from me anyway, so I'm just gonna let it slide. That's not okay. If that's your friend, that's your friend. And if you my friend, I expect support. If you my family, I expect support. And yes, it's on me to be vocal about the kind of support that I need, that I want. But if you love me like you say you do,
Yes.
you gonna commit to me in some kind of way, right? So, what do you think about that outlook of things?
As you hit on one word and you said communicate.
Yeah.
And so, as you stated earlier, I am a teacher, and it's just so funny because last week we do something called the closing circle where we go over different social emotional things, and what we talked about last week was the word communicate. And what does that mean
Yeah.
to a 4-year old to communicate? And so we had to break it down on their terms. And shout out to my co-teacher, Miss Brooks. She put the yes no game. I don't know if you guys have seen it, like on you not YouTube, but maybe Instagram, and people were doing it for Christmas. You put yes
Oh,
on
the
one
one we
side.
played.
Yeah, you put yes on one
Oh, we
side
had a
and
ball.
no on the other side. So we were she lined the kids up and we were given scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're hurting, is that something you communicate? If someone does something to you, is that something you communicate? If you're having a bad day, and the children had to go from yes to no, because teaching when and the appropriateness of communicating is very pivotal. Like, that is a key point. And sometimes even older people, they don't even know, okay, should I say something? Do I hold this in? Do I let that out? Okay, they hurt me, but you know what? And I can only go with thanks. I'm gonna just take it to my prayer closet. I ain't gonna
Right.
let nobody know. But no, that's a key point to communicate, because sometimes things occur that you have the other person don't even know they affected you. Like,
Don't.
I had to take that. My family told me that when I was pregnant, I was mean.
I didn't think you were mean. I just feel like you're an honest person already, but that just maximized it. I think, the attitude behind it made it like, I feel like, me personally, I don't feel like you were saying anything different that you would say
Because
not pregnant.
I just think that it is me to be honest with people. But in them communicating that, I said, hey, let me, you know what, think about how I'm going to say this time. You got to think about it. It made me just think about it. And
And
sometimes
you
I
did apologize. I remember that.
and I did
You did
apologize, because
apologize.
I honestly felt like I had a very good pregnancy. And
What is it?
yeah, I just thought I had a very good pregnancy until, you hear things like that. And I realized that, yeah, I did say it like
Like,
that.
come on, humility.
Yeah, I did
Come
say it like
on.
that. The sad thing was, I did mean what I said. I just didn't mean for it to come out like that. So, again, having those moments where I wanted to communicate, but was it effective communication? And so I say that
That's a
to
good
the parents
question.
that are listening, do not be afraid to teach your child already what it means to communicate, that it's okay to express yourself, because you don't want them to be older and not be able to communicate. So many people
Yeah.
hold stuff in and boggle things down because I don't know when or where the appropriate time is to release this to those that may have affected me by not supporting. Let's take it back to
Right.
where we started,
Right.
by not supporting me. So because I never told you how affected I was by you not showing up for me, now I don't show up for me. And so we
Mic
have
drop.
to
I was about to cuss.
communicate.
Okay. Talking her best stuff on this episode. That is so real, though. You have
Yeah.
to communicate. And it's crazy because you could be the most honest person in the world, but still, there are limitations to how you communicate.
Hmm.
Because it still be like, I can't say it. Well, like you said, that comes with maturity, though. You can't say it how you want to say it. You
Hmm.
can't say it how you feel like you should say it. Because now I have grown to know that, you know what, sometimes you gotta wait to take your emotion out of things, to have a conversation. Because say I reach out to somebody, I'm like, I want to talk to them about how I don't feel supported. I can't, you can, but I don't think it's the best approach to just go and lash out and be like, I feel like this. Sometimes you got to take the I feel to this is what's been happening. Let's talk about your actions because feelings you can't show all the time. That's not liable. But let's talk about your actions for real. I've done this. You've done nothing. I did this. You did nothing. And sometimes, and I don't want to make it seem like support is like have to be shown in this big, great manner. Sometimes all somebody needs to hear is good job. I'm proud of you. You did that. Oh, when's the next one? I didn't make this one, but I'm sharing it. You know, it's the little things as well. So I'm so glad we was able to talk about just support and the expectations that we put on others because that's what it really boils down to in the
Yes.
communication. Like she said, parents, if you are listening, teach your child how to communicate so they can grow up to understand the power behind it because they ain't gonna get far in this world if they don't know how to communicate, when to communicate. You're just not because you have to do it in within so many relationships and connections that are
Yes.
with you. You have to learn how to communicate. And if you're out there with not the best communication approaches, please YouTube University is out there. Google is out there. It's so many ways. Heck, hit me up, hit Tasha up, and we will give you pointers on how to communicate, or what some avenues that you can look at to better communicate with people. But the next question I have is how do we handle the ones that's closest to us that don't support? Right? So, in the end, that is the question. We have acknowledged how it has made us feel. We have acknowledged the actions behind our feelings. You know, sometimes you can be mature, but other times you, Mr. and Miss Petty. Like, how do we handle that going forward? So, I want to give my 2 points, and then Tosh, I'm gonna throw it back to you. Cool.
Okay.
So, mine would be to check your perspective and to, like you said, take responsibility of your dream. Be accountable, right? And what I mean by this is even though it hurts, you need to make sure you are your greatest cheerleader. Piggybacking off what Tasha said, it's for self. And not in a selfish way, but it's for self, and everything else is a bonus. Your vision starts with you. And everyone may not understand that. You can't prepare yourself for the strangers and other communities who may not understand, but you need to be able to prepare yourself for anybody. It's your vision, and it all falls down to how you communicate that vision. And you just cannot expect everyone to immediately get on the bandwagon and to just understand where you're coming from. My second point would be to don't fight fire with fire. Just because people not supporting you the way that you have expected them to don't mean you become nasty, nice nasty or bitter or just like, you know what, I'm not going to do nothing for nobody because everybody ain't do nothing to you.
Hmm.
You cannot fight, don't fight fire with fire. And like we're saying, communication is key. Be vocal about how you would like to be supported. Be clear about the areas you need support in because no one is a mind reader. You cannot keep suppressing your feelings and your emotions towards this person because it makes it worse. And you don't want something like this to be the reason why this relationship is over when it really just could have been fixed with a simple conversation. So, Tosh, I'm throwing it back to you. What advice do you have for anyone who may be experiencing this? How do they handle the people closest to them that they don't feel supported by?
I think you actually hit on everything. Once you communicate, you say what you need to say to that person. And I believe it was Maya Angelou who said, when someone shows you who they are, you gotta believe them.
Believe them.
That's it. You gotta believe them. And then once you believe and you start to realize, okay, this one is not going to come or this person may not show up for me, it then falls back to what we've been saying. And the key word here is ownership. I
Ownership.
I own this business. I own this conversation. I own this. This is what I want to do. So I'm taking ownership of this. So once you take ownership of something, that's what you do. You keep figuring out, how do I do it without them? Who else can I go talk to? Who's also in this lane? I connected to somebody. I love her for dear life. I don't ever think I even told her this, but I've deemed her my mentor because she does what I want to do. She
Yeah.
is somewhere that I would like to be. She's not immediate family, and not to say that immediate family has not shown up for me, but you need to look at something. You need to see where you're going. You need to have your eyes on the prize.
Your eyes on the
And
prize.
so find you somebody else if that family is not doing what they need to do. I have a group of friends, and I don't even call them friends no more. We say that our water is thick. We say we got thick water running between us.
Yeah.
So we're not blood, but it's sure enough is some thick water, and they are my sisters. Because we go through stuff in life where I tell them, listen, if you was my friend, maybe we wouldn't be friends.
Okay.
But since you are my sister, we are forever together. And it is what it is
It
at the
is
end
what
of the
it
day.
is.
So it's all about ownership. And when somebody won't do or has not shown you, somebody else is willing to do. Keep your eyes on the prize.
Let people be who they are going to be.
Yes.
We cannot force people to change for us. I'm gonna let you be convicted by my presence because you know what you're not doing. You know what support looks like at the end of the day. So I'm gonna let my presence and my success be your conviction. So let's break it down into the terms of Selah. Pause, reflect, and grow. Pause. Take a moment to embrace how you feel. Acknowledge that you are hurt, because that hurt can grow bigger due to you trying to suppress it. It just takes too much energy to fake how you feel and disregard factual actions, what you are experiencing. So, again, take a moment to embrace how you feel and be one with those feelings, because don't be just out here reacting to people and then you forget why you even really mad or what happened. So, with that being, let me pause. Tasha, what is your pause moment? What can you add to this moment of pausing?
Pause just deals with reflection. For me, pause would be to just reflect on where I'm going, where I've been, and movement. Even though the word is pause, sometimes when you pause, there's yet movement involved in that.
Yep.
There's yet movement in you being still.
Yep.
So for me, yeah, I like that for me.
That's true.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, pause is yet
Pause
still
can be a movement.
can be a movement. So sometimes things happen so fast around you, you get caught up. But even just slowing down, having that moment, you're still moving towards your goal.
Yep. And that, you know what, that makes so much sense. You just brought that full circle because pausing is not stopping.
That's right.
Because to stop means you like there's nothing going on. But I like that. I like that. So reflect. You brought up reflection. The reflecting point. After you've taken a moment to feel, reflect on the relationships, the connections to those people you are hurt by? Have they always supported you? Has the relationship always been a two-way street? Are you able to have mature conversations with them? Think about if you have been vocal about the kind of support that you need, take accountability for when you do not communicate properly. So at this point, really think about how you have handled the situation, and from your perspective, how have they handled the situation. Tosh, can you add anything else to this reflection period?
I will also say reflect on improving your craft or your skill, whatever it is that you're going after that needs the support. Reflect on improving that,
Yeah.
making that better, making that greater, um, adding some gems and jewels to that.
I like it. And to lastly, but not least, grow. After reflection, put actions behind it. Take the time to communicate properly. And if there is still no change, as I said earlier, take people for face value. Like you said, people show you who they are, believe them, stop expecting yourself from them, take responsibility for your goals, your dreams, and just go on with life. To be honest, just move on. Had a conversation. We're not about to. I'm in a season right now. I'm not even gonna say we. I don't know about nobody else, but me personally, I'm not in the season where I'm gonna keep having the same conversation with the same people. At this point, I can no longer react the same because there's no change you're in. So let me change how I'm going about things. So your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, future revenue, your impact will not wait on emotion. You cannot expect things to keep thriving for you while you're just down and out about one person, maybe five for you personally, but it could be one or more than that. You got to keep going. Just had a conversation and move on. Tosh, what do you have to add to this moment of growth to close us out?
Definitely agree with you about growing, but when I think about a plant, sometimes even in the process of a plant or
Hmm.
something growing, there are dead things attached to it. Some leaves may begin to
Yeah.
darken, some dry out, so you have to cut that off. And
Yes.
sometimes in the process of growth, it's okay to cut away at
Hmm.
anything that's not giving you life.
Hmm.
So anything that's not growing properly with you, anything that's not showing up like it should for you, anything that's dried out on you, it's okay to cut it off.
Cut it. What does he say? Cut it.
Cut it,
Cut it.
cut it, cut it.
Cut it. The price is way too high. You need to cut it. No, for real. These prices for these groceries bags, I'm gonna keep mentioning them every episode. They need to cut it. It's ridiculous.
You are bothered
And
by
I'm
that.
stubborn because I will not. We went to the store the other day and I'm like, I don't want to pay for the bag.
Y'all
Tosh like,
had a fit.
I don't want to pay for it.
Mind you, we had 5 2-liter sodas and a number of things to go with that. And she did not want to give 10 cents for the
10 cents
bag.
because that's insane.
No, tell them that you wanted me to run to the car and get your car organizer.
Listen, because it's right there. That's what you got it for me for Christmas. I don't understand. I mean, it's for my car, but now it can be used for multiple things. It's 10 cents. It's small to somebody else, but to me, it's just no reason why we're actually paying for bags
They need to cut it.
to carry our stuff in the house. Thank God we don't got no steps. And I feel bad for everybody else who do. Y'all need
Mm.
to go ahead and invest in a bag, a car organizer, or a tote. That's what I do at school. I throw everything in a tote and truck it up the steps. That's my workout too. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. Um, in the light of me not being bitter, letting my emotions stop anything, and I'm glad I could say publicly, I'm past this point, but I had to address it. I want to move right into our Black business shout out.
Ooh.
Right. Hand clap, hand clap, hand clap. I want to shout out a Black creator or an entrepreneur, and I believe this young lady's conversation spoke volumes on today. So I'm shedding even more light on my sister, Ms. Natasha
Oh, look at
Bryant
that.
herself. She has started her 6 month sessions of the year, and this series is entitled the Treasure series. Last year we did Turbulence. She kicked off Turbulence Talks, and that was based on like plane feeling turbulence within the plane, but you still arriving to your destination. It was real good, y'all. So I cannot wait for the Treasure series. And just because she my sister don't mean I don't take the gems she drop. Y'all need to stop getting too comfortable with the people that y'all love, people that y'all close to. Don't get too comfortable where you feel like you can't learn from them. During the Treasure series, she focuses on helping young ladies grow within self worth, love, confidence, and more. So you head over to her website at natashaangea.com, to learn more. That is spelled NATASHAONJEAH.com, and you can learn more. You can also sign up for the sessions. Also, run over to her Instagram. That is at Natasha Angea Speaks underscore. That is NATASHAONJEAH. SPEAKS underscore. Go follow her, go comment, go like her content, go repost her content. DM her if you got some questions about anything she discussed today. I hope you guys were able to hear the passion she has when she talks, the education when she talks. It's just she dope in real life. She really be saying some stuff, and I really be
Thank you,
wanting to
Lord.
cuss. Like, she really talking her stuff though, y'all. She really is. She helping me. Did I forget anything? Anything else you want to tap on regarding your business, your books? Anything else you want to bring light to?
I think you hit on everything. I am dropping something new tomorrow where I'm bringing something back.
Ooh,
I am bringing back my Pretty in Pink program. A lot
yes,
of young girls have been asking me questions. When is it coming back?
and have.
Parents have been saying, I need you to talk to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So that will start next month. So you can head on over to natashaangea.com. Sign up for that as well. Those will be from the ages of 13 to 19.
Yes.
So we're really just
And what
focusing on a
ages,
moment.
excuse me, not to cut you off,
No.
what age range is for the Treasure series?
The Treasure series start 21 all the way up because I've had some 50-year-olds in the
Yeah.
class. We've had 60-year-old. We've had 21-year-old in class. It's all relevant because we hit on things like communication effectively.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited. I'm definitely
too.
excited about what's about to take place this year.
Yes. 21 and up. You're never too old to learn something new or to just have a moment to have some conversation with some women, genuine women. Because, things get a little spicy out here. And we not even like that. We just
Not
trying to
even.
support and push what you got going on. Okay. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast at Selah underscore pod. That is SELAH underscore POD. And I'm just thinking, sidebar, in my head, if somebody come on this podcast with a long thing, long like tag name, I'm gonna have to be spelling because some people just don't know. Some people just don't know how to spell, and sometimes Siri don't listen. So if you coming on the podcast, please send it to me early so I can get myself in the practice of spelling it without messing up. I am also on YouTube now. So
Yes.
all you have to do,
Congratulations.
thank you. All you have to do is type in the Selah podcast and look for my green logo, and there I am. My name is Tyandra Evans, so it'll come up under that. So go like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that post notification so that you know exactly when the next episode drops. I am also on Pinterest at SelahPod22. That is SELAHPOD 22, and that is typed all together, where I will be posting and I'll be using it as a blog, so follow me there as well. And I recently just did a photo shoot, so I get to drop those
Gorgeous.
pictures. That was a whole new experience for me, so I get to drop those pictures and tag the stores that I shopped at, tag my stylist, and plug the podcast one more time. And like I said, I will be using it as a blog. I've said before, I'm working on other social platforms to reach more people and build a broader audience. So y'all look out for my TikTok page too. I'm gonna make one. I'm just go ahead and give it to it.
Go ahead, do it.
I can't do a lot of dancing, but I will try to do other content. Cause I got rhythm, but I don't know what it is. I just can't put all the steps together.
We gonna work on it
Okay,
together.
we are because we gonna what we say last night. We gonna push your choreographer dream.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah,
hear
I
that?
should have been on the last episode about that that dream crusher. But that's all right. I'm
Okay,
still dancing. I'm
still
still
dancing.
dancing.
Still got a pep in her step. So that is all for today's episode. Make sure you check your inner and outer circles and make sure that those people that you surround yourself with truly support you. There is a place called bitter, but in this season, let us pause, reflect, and grow to a place that's better. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Tosh, for joining us. We were so
My
happy to have
pleasure.
you. Until next time.